Glad to have you join us again. This is Business Breakfast on iBrandTV. Now let's get talking now. Let's look at what's playing out at the Nigerian capital market. But before we dive straight into the trading at the Nigerian Exchange Limited on Tuesday, Soar higher by 1.45% to close at 836 billion naira. The all-share index and market capitalization increased to 103,524.44 basis points and 58.53 trillion naira, respectively. However, the month-to-date increased by 3.54%, while year-to-date return moved higher by 38.45%. Meanwhile, shares of Transcorp, Access Corporation, GT Co, Jais Bank and UBA were most traded stock at the capital market. Ambrose Amodion, Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting Limited, joins me now live virtually as we do some analysis of trading activities at the exchange yesterday. Ambrose, good morning. Glad to have you join me on the program today. So take us through some of the fundamentals that played out yesterday at the NGX. What would you say are the sentiment that drove trading activities to the bull taking over again this time around for the seventh time rather, trading activities at the NGX? Your thoughts on this?
As you just said, the market has been up for 6-7 days. For me, I'm surprised seeing that the initial time with the high price stocks that started this move, especially after the listing of Transcorp Power.
Yes.
So the market, went to look up. But now, that kind of is obtained for more than a week, for 7 days, more than a week. On that note, I think that the buying interest and financial stocks that are yet to release their increased. That means market expectation from that industry has also increased. Also, we saw GT code inside the market about their public cover. Market just one like that. These are effective banks that have already more than 1 trillion $7,000. They're coming to do this and discover that these banks are also seeing more potential in the market for them to also make money with the additional fund. Knowing that these banks are a holding company, that means a lot of activities for them. And that means this rate type of thing now, banks also invest more for me. Even I think that that's a case that is started to build their sense. That's what we are saying in this bank themselves. For me, I believe that investors should also be very cautious. After market are running for almost 7 days, the quality of the profit taking is very, very high. Already the market has come a double top pattern, which is also there is a sign of profit taking. But if market is able to break out this double top today, that will also continue a rally. That's also the target in about 105,000 market has tested before now. So if today market break out this double top, for me it's depending on the forum, one that market will break out. If market break out, we are not surprised because profit taking is far out of the market. We are saying kind of market dynamics. For me, profit taking is what I expect market to go. If the market will back down, those companies are yet to release the results. I know the results also be we saw this yesterday announced that the board about 2 years or that and will send it to work to CBN. So before now, definitely we need also the account that account before now. For me, I believe that this will guide investors the more. They can also be investing. For me, there is no cost for that. Knowing that the March and April is the peak of any season because after we have seen the 3 year result that coming out a month of time, going to see the first quarter result of those companies that have the back in April. And that means for investors, this is the time where that's why the common master for our business that it's well to put those stocks and investors should also be there for the next quarter 2 market position.
All right, Ambrose, do you see the markets continue or maintaining this positive trajectory to the end of this month? We have just 2 weeks to wrap up the month. And then again, I also want to ask you, it seemed like the market has adjusted to the macroeconomic conditions in the country, going by the interest rate hike by this MPC meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and also inflation. And also, we need to put into consideration that the MPC will also be meeting again this month, I think towards the last week in this month, 2 weeks from now, I believe. And also, inflation reports we're expecting to come out by Friday again. If you put all of these fundamentals together, do you see the market losing its balance at this point in time?
the market have kind of x-ray the fourth MPC meeting of this TBN overall, where they had created about 400 basis points. They saw the impact, and also they are studying the subsequent TV option as an comment and homo option. We have seen that the latest one result on Musapa is 1.45% for 354 each. And also to this another option again, we have to look at it, what is going to be. If we remember that also the more that this time is lower than what they did the previous one, and when they reach also about 2.5 trillion. But now the money that they release is religion. That means for those that are going to be a hike in rate today is very, very slim. But that will be also a guide for investor ahead of what inflation. As we just mentioned, we're seeing another FPC. The FPC that is coming this month is for me, is for them to assess the impact of what opposition is made last time. But the other thing that it was already around the end of February, that will not impact on inflation. Because inflation figure for me is going to hit about 80.87% for the month of February. And those that are in fixed income market, they're also saying that no matter what they are earning, that is below 22%, and inflation is already around 20 to 31% at the end of as we are looking forward to see inflation come for February. That's also determining where they are going. But I believe that the FPC that is going to be a comment, I think unless the CBN is not achieve something else, that is not that time for them to adjust it. I think we're likely to watch and see the impact because this last only 26 and 27, which already end of February. That means the impact is going to be in this month of March. And this 2 weeks or so we have seen that yes, there's little stability, but in spite of good and still went up because we are increasing it to kind of checkmate inflation. Inflation, I think that prices are not coming down. And out of the effort that have populated from almost 600 to around 300, 100, 100, now it can come back again. That is that the adjustment has not really done what they expected, or the interest is not for me. I'm not feeling it now, or I'm not really seeing the impact. For me, it's necessary for them to kind of assess and know if what they did is making a impact in the economy. For me, I don't see any further rate hikes in the next unless they want to support Nigeria's economy. If not, no. Let them look at, let's watch this one first, this trend, then we can have looking at the one that's coming around June to know what to do. So we're having a lot of time to see how Nigeria economy have adjusted with the rate hike and also with increasing economic headwinds we are seeing. Because these are the policy have made impact.
All right, quickly take us through the commodities market. What do you think is playing out in that sector?
Yes, we saw yesterday in the international market because of US projecting kind of excess production. That and also the data that came from US that we saw the quarter inflation figure, we saw the price of crude coming down also yesterday. But the currency for most of the world economy was stability in those and that determines how the world market will do international market. But that here in Nigeria, we have seen that yes, prices of goods have gone up here, but to come down it's a lot of work. I don't know because in Nigeria we don't have good price system or price to control for that. Anything that gone up in Nigeria to come that's a problem. But we believe that the only effect that we are seeing imported inflation, if effects are come down, then that means price of goods are naturally come down, but it might not be as much as that we are valid. But if effects without being Nigeria is appreciating, I will not say that because imported inflation are reducing, and also the insecurity, the government of the fiscal are able to address the issue, someone about the farm, that should have that into your comment. But on that, I just say that commodity price will continue to start and also affect the consumption and also affect the selling because people don't have enough money to buy your goods to remain on the shelf. I'll just people.
It's the midweek trading activity at the NGX. What's your projection? I know we're still on the green, and if we're still going to continue that momentum today again, give us some projections as to which stocks will be on the green, which stocks will be on the red at the end of closing transaction today at the NGX.
Yeah, I told you earlier that we have seen kind of a renewed strong interest in buying investment stocks and other financial service providers. I believe that the insurance, the banking sector, other like the aviation sector, the oil and gas, we are seeing kind of a new strength in the new performance in the consumer goods as a result of what impact of effect on their numbers. But despite that, the two banks is one most of their prices are because of an attraction for people to enter. But the life of MTN, because like I said again, it is not because of the operational failure of the MTN or most of the even consumers that made us more. For the effect that is keep addressed. But there are people that finishing some stocks down and know that their potential of the companies or the sector are high. Then if we want to find our features of addressing the effect issue, this company of banks, I don't feel like it's immediate. But that investors should do a call separation and look the work of banking stocks, insurance stocks, those are types of like the Saco, the NACO, the Capital, and that, like also other financial, like UCAM, after the get see the results, like NGX, lots of set of those service sector ones that are really stable in terms of their performance. Don't forget that right seed on earnings, and this is kind of support your payout at the end of the day.
All right, your parting word now to investors as to wrap up this segment of the program.
Yeah, so what we have believe that the market will see look up today. It might not be as high as what we saw 1.45 yesterday. For that, investors should know how to take profit. Especially within 7 days, if you make profit, you have to take your profit down to the market and come and enter at the right time. No market should end up, no market should end down anywhere in the world.
All right, then. We'll leave it at that. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Investment Officer, Invest Data Consulting Limited. Thank you so much for your time with me on the show this morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, coming up next on the program, we will be looking at 2024 Nigeria's economic outlook. Let's take a quick look at inflation, the GDP report, and government policies. How does all of these attribute to macroeconomic indices that were being faced in the country at the moment? And also, oil prices rose steady on expectations of strong global demand, including the world's top consumer, the United States. And as even somewhat sticky U.S. inflation did not significantly alter expectation, the Fed might start cutting rates soon. Let's get talking after this time out. Just stay with us.